You eat cake? I eat fruit.
It's okay.
I thought you were gonna argue with me. Hey guys, Barbara here and
Joe here.
And today we're doing a weird kind of mukbang because we want to talk about Jory's recent wedding. You're watching the Bare Pantry Show. My name is Barbara and for over a decade I've been teaching viewers and subscribers how to cook authentic dishes from my home country of Belize and many other delicious dishes from basic ingredients. Alright guys, so really seriously we're just gonna nibble on some oranges while we talk, but I wanted to show you the cake because this is the cake that we had for the wedding. This was the bottom layer, this is lemon pudding cake, this is the middle layer, yellow cake, and this is the top layer, which is lemon pound cake. Alright, so I did a whole video on this. I replicated the cakes in a small batch form. We just went out to the nature center to tape the voiceover in a sense for that video, and then I'm going to show you guys more or less how these cakes are made. Alright, so just leave it in a picture for the beauty, right? So, let's pose. Pose with your cake. Don't make my cake look weird. Smile. I smile too big. All right. So we're gonna nibble on the oranges instead of the cake because we didn't eat lunch yet, and I don't want to eat too much sweet stuff. This is like our mid-morning snack. Don't lean back.
No, lean back.
I gotta teach them about posture. Posture is everything because the people are gonna be disinterested if you look disinterested. Here you go.
He's not disinterested. I'm sitting down. The chair is. The orange want to wake me up.
These oranges from Costco are good, baby. You want me to move the cake out of the way? No elbows on the table. I'll put the cake here. Anyways, Jory and Esther have been dating for about 5 years, since 2017. So he met her after my mom passed. I do everything before mommy died, after mommy died.
After my pass?
2017. So they met in college, at junior college. Jory said he was in some class. Esther walked in late. They became really good friends. And then after a while, they started dating. So they might have met before 2017, but they started dating in 2017. So we have no issues with Esther. She's cool people. She knows how to give good gifts. I like people like that, people that are not stingy. She knows how to take a joke. She knows how to give a joke. She's got a fantastic sense of humor. She's got her head screwed on straight. She has a daughter named Mabel. Mabel is 14, about to be 15 in December. Jory and Esther are the same age. As you guys can do the math, Esther had Mabel kind of young, and she did not let that derail her entire life. She went into school. She did x-ray. She got licensed to do x-ray. She did x-ray all this time. She's still doing x-ray right now, but in the pandemic, she went back into school and she got trained on how to do MRI. And so both those positions are great positions that she has. When the thing just hit, the covert just hit, and they didn't have a test yet to see who had it, Esther was the one, well, not just Esther, but people like Esther that did x-rays were the ones that were finding the things in people's lungs. So she still is an essential worker, and she's our barometer as to where the thing is. So that's why we still wear a mask, because we get it from the horse's mouth as to what's going on with the covert. You guys get me? Anyways, they got engaged. They wanted to get engaged in 2020, but because of the shutdown, they couldn't do it because they wanted to go to Universal Studios. They got engaged 2021, and it was a whole thing. Jada recorded it. I don't post anything about Jory here if I don't get permission to do it because Jory is very private, and I want to respect that. Esther doesn't care. Jory is the one. So then they were going to go to Las Vegas to celebrate their anniversary, the anniversary of them getting together or whatever, because it's May. And then they decided, why don't we just do the wedding there? It might be cheaper because chapels here in California are expensive. Over there in Las Vegas, it was way cheaper, according to Jory. So at first, they were just going to go and have a ceremony. And then everybody was just going to split up and go do what you want to do. Go to a buffet or whatever. And then I guess they decided, well, that doesn't feel right for people to drive all the way out there and then we don't offer any food. So they started to look into restaurants and stuff, and they found Maggiano's in Las Vegas. Really good food, Italian food. At first, Joe was verklempt because he's like, Italian food? God. What do you have against Italian food?
Too much pasta and all that kind of
He don't like pasta. He don't like mushy stuff. And I told him, suck it up. It's not your wedding. You're not paying for it. You suck it up, okay? Oh, anyway, we had a lot to do to prepare to go to this wedding because we have an old truck, 2004 Tahoe. We couldn't afford to rent a vehicle For that matter, Jada couldn't afford to rent a vehicle. She had to use like her entire paycheck to rent that car, that Toyota. How many in the car? Camry? Toyota Camry. 2021 Toyota Camry. I did a video on that already showing you new car tour. You guys, thank you for, putting up with me with the, what do they call it? Clickbait. I gotta get some views, Anyways, Jada rented that Airbnb right away from the time they decided they were going to do the wedding in Vegas. And the reason why Joe and I didn't plan on staying there because it was going to be Jada, Joshua, and another friend of Jada. Mm-hmm. And then I guess that friend couldn't go. So then she asked another friend, and he strung her along right to the last minute. And the day before they were supposed to drive over there, he was like, I can't come. So let me pause right here and preface something. I'm going to be cutting away the B-roll of this wedding because I don't just want to like put a whole wedding video out here. I find that kind of boring. You don't know who the people are.
Yeah.
But I want to make a video like that to give to Esther. No, they don't need my video because the chapel puts that in the package, videos, snapshots, whatever. We couldn't record in the church with our cameras. That was a rule. But we could record with our phones. I don't have a good I have an iPhone I don't like the quality of the camera, so we used Joe's Android, and it was a hell of a time for me to get that footage off to cut away to all this that's going on in the church. So the preacher was funny. He had a French accent. He had us bawling with laughter. The wedding went fast, the ceremony, and I like it that way.
I know. I don't want to sit there and hours and hours and.
I can't stand a lot of palabra that they do in church. So I stopped the preface to let you guys know that you're not going to see any of Joe's family members at this wedding. You're not going to see any of my family members at this wedding because it's Jory's wedding. He's the one that paid for it. And I wasn't about to ask him for not even one person to be invited because I know how my family is. And they will tell you that they're coming, knowing fully well that they're not coming, and then have you pay for that head for the catering for the food. And then Jory will be mad at me. So I decided to have peace in my life, peace in the valley, and I decided that I wasn't gonna, go to Jory and say, "Can I invite this one? Can I invite cousin so and so?"
We
this
go
one,
along
so-and-so?
with the program.
We just went with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wants to get upset, I don't know that anybody's upset. Whoever wants to get upset, that's their problem. I didn't even tell nobody. There's a bunch of people that don't know that Jory went to go get married. I didn't even tell nobody because it's like, why? Why? If you're not talking to me and I'm not talking to you, then I'm not telling you ish. So Joe's family, the same thing. Joe only have a couple of family members still live here, and they weren't invited either because what? I didn't ask nobody to get invited. So it was basically us on Jory's side of the aisle. Us right here. Me, Joe, don't lean back, honey. Joe, Jada, Joshua, and me. And then Jory has 3 best friends that he worked with at a prior job, and they were invited with their significant others. One of them couldn't make it. She has a legit reason why she couldn't make it. She and her husband couldn't make it. So those people are already, those 2 heads that Jory paid for that didn't show up. But it's okay. This person really had a legit reason. So then on Esther's side of the aisle, it was her dad because Esther's mom has been deceased for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So Esther's dad, Esther, 2 sisters, and their significant others. I think one has a husband, one probably has a boyfriend. I don't know the whole dynamics. Each of them have 3 kids, so their 3 kids were invited. That's Esther's nieces and nephews. And then the dad? The dad had a girlfriend there, or a woman friend. I hate saying girlfriend when these people are already old. A woman friend. And I think a cousin came to represent an aunt that didn't come because Esther got married at Sin City. And she's hyper religious. Anyways, that was the whole bunch of people that were there.
And that's it.
And it was, intimate and nice. Like I said, the church part was fun. The preacher was funny. They have you right on that. Pictures were fast. You know what I mean? And then after that, we had to go back to the Airbnb because when we got to Las Vegas, we couldn't check into our hotel room. Jory got us a hotel. Jory and Esther got us a hotel at the Sahara. We couldn't check into that hotel right away because of the fact that check-in is at 3 and we got there at 9 in the morning. We left at 5:30, got there like, 9:15 or whatever. Mm-hmm. We didn't encounter any traffic. The drive was beautiful. The weather was nice. We didn't even have to turn on the AC till we got to Las Vegas. The weather there was 109 degrees and humid. What the hell? Why? Why? The minute we showered, her hair was like this. So then we pick up Jory first at his hotel, the Mirage, and we took him back to the Airbnb where Jada and Joshua were. Jada took an Uber to the Mirage to go get Esther ready, hair and makeup. And then we just sat there and chilled and talked smack and decorated the cake. Jory wanted to decorate his own cake. We did all that fondant. I was nervous about traveling with that cake, but I put the middle one on top of the big one and put it in a cake carrying thing. Then I had the little one in another cake carrying thing, and we chucked it in the back so when if Joe hauled a mean curve or whatever, we were fine. I only had to stop one time for the bathroom. Anyways, got there. Jory decorated the cake. You guys saw that. It was gorgeous. So then we went to the chapel, and we went back to, so it was Jory, Joshua, me, and Joe that went to the chapel in our car. Mm-hmm. Jada and Esther and Mabel, Esther's daughter, rode in a limo. Got in there, got it done. And then Jory and Esther took off in a limo, and then one of Esther's sister took Mabel. And then it was me, Joshua, Jada, and Joe went back to the Airbnb for 45 minutes, just sat down, chilled, used the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Got the cake, went to the restaurant. It was kind of hard to find the restaurant because it's in a mall. Jory had to come fetch us. The cake was heavy, it was on my lap, boring a hole in my lap. Jory came, got it. I switched out my shoes. See my tennies? Let's see this? Thank God for these, because I switched out from my pretty shoes to this. Was able to walk in there. They had a nice room. There were 4 tables set up. And then this is the way they serve the food. But right now I want to pause to play a commercial because Jada needs to leave for work and I need for her to fill up her water bottle and stuff. So I'm going to pause for a commercial and I'll be right back. And I'll be right back. You want to cook more at home, but recipes can be overwhelming because most recipes cater to a large group. The solution is my new small batch book, No More Leftovers. Enjoy air fryer wings and other appetizers for 2, small batch Belizean breads, main dishes for 2, small batch dishes and drinks and smoothies for 1. You'll be able to stay on your eating planner diet because my recipes for mini cakes, pies, and cookies only yield enough for you to enjoy a treat and share with a couple of friends or family. Watch this easy recipe for 1 loaf of baguette. Place 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 tablespoon active dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a cup of warm water in a bowl. Mix with the handle of a wooden spoon to make a dough ball. Cover and let rise for 1 hour. Punch down the dough, then roll into a rectangle. Tuck and roll. Pinch the seams shut. Score, then cover and let rise for 30 minutes. Bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes, then butter and enjoy. Pick up a copy of my new small batch book, No More Leftovers, at www.barepantryshow.com. Shop safely and securely at www.barepantryshow.com. Every time I look into your eyes. And we're back. So I knew that Jada had to leave, but she had like a 20-minute gap, and I wanted to just like start to record this while it was fresh in my brain. So we still have the food here. Joe was eating the orange. I'm like, wait, we're supposed to have food and we come back on camera, Joe. Speaking of food, yes, we have food, baby. Speaking of food, we went to the restaurant. Joey had to come find us because we got lost in the parking lot. So we got up in there, nice room set aside, 4 big tables. At the table by the window was one of Esther's sister and her crew. And then at another table like behind us was, who was at that table?
Behind us where?
Behind our table. Over
Joshua.
there. Joshua and them were over there by the opening. So over there was Joshua, Jada, Esther's 2 nephews.
It was only 3 tables.
For real?
3 big tables, yeah.
Why did I think there was 4?
No.
Oh, see?
There's only 3
Well, we're going to be cutting away the B-roll so you guys can see. So by the window was that, then us, and then Joshua and them. All right? So Joshua was there with Jory's friends, the 2 friends that showed up. So what they did, they had a big sideboard over there, and I thought they were going to bring the food and set it there, and then you go like, buffet style and serve. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that style of serving because you get to pick what you want and then go sit down. But the only reason I don't like that kind of serving is because you're always in a line. I hate waiting in a line for buffet, right? So what they did was they said they served it family style. So they brought like these big platters. Like when they did the cake, they brought a platter like this, right? So they brought these big platters of the stuff. So the first course was the appetizer, and they had the mozzarella sticks, not the long one like that. They were square, right, Joe? And crunchy. Was it good? Did you like that?
No, it was good.
I ate my lactate thingy, and I had 2 for Jory because he had forgotten his stuff in the car. So then they had 2 salads, the house salad and the Maggiano salad, which is, well, the house salad is the Maggiano salad, I'm sorry. They had a Caesar and the Maggiano salad, and then they had spinach artichoke dip, which I did not get any of because the people at my table was greedy.
Well, I never care for it anyway.
I'm talking about Jory. He ate all of that stuff. I heard that we could have sent for more, but I didn't want to because there was another course. I saw a lot of people drinking ginger ale. What the next thing there? Root beer, Sprite, Coke. They were drinking all that stuff. Me, I didn't touch none of that stuff because that gas bloats you up and then you won't be able to eat. And I kept telling them, you guys won't be able to eat. There's a lot of food coming. You see all the list. They had the thing. Oh, the thing was pretty. Esther wanted to steal the case that they had the thing in, but we just took the paper out. So, anyways, the next course was 4 different dishes. Fettuccine Alfredo, but that didn't have any meat. But when they brought another bowl of that to the table, they did bring it with chicken in it for the bride's table, right? Then they had chicken marsala. This is the first time I tasted that. That's more like an Indian food, I think, more than Italian. Correct me if I'm wrong. It wasn't like spicy enough for me. It didn't taste bad, but I really felt like it should have more spice in my mind. Because I never tasted that thing before. In my mind, I just thought it should be like overly spiced. But it wasn't bad. Then they had baked ziti with sausage. I've had that at the mall all the time, so I know I would like that. That was good. The one that shocked me that I truly, truly, truly loved, though, was the chicken Florentine. Whatever sauce they had on it, and the chicken was like breaded in panko or whatever. It was so good. It was a lot of food. They kept bringing more and more bowls of the food to the 3 tables. And then when it was all done, whatever was left on the table, you could pack up to take home. So not everybody got a doggy bag, but not everybody wanted a doggy bag. So it to me, I think everybody at the table were happy. Like, can I take it? Oh, go ahead, you could take that, right? We only had a small fridge in our hotel.
Well, I don't want no more.
So, and I didn't want to eat that food again. I didn't have any more of my chews or whatever. So Jada and them took that to the Airbnb, put that in the fridge, brought it home the next day, and they ate it the next day. So the dessert was going to be some Gigi butter cake. Jada said that was really, really good. It was like a strawberry shortcake. They had fruit there. They had a roll of, what's that thing called, Joe? It was whipped cream, but it looked like heavy cream to me. It looked like an ice cream scoop, like a scoop of ice cream.
I thought it was ice cream, but it's not ice cream.
Yeah, it's some kind of whipped cream. I never seen whipped cream like that before. That looks so heavy and formed, right? And then they had some lemon cookies that were like in the shape of a like little half moon. Those were the bomb.com. I loved it. And of course they had my cake. And Esther and Jory went to go cut the piece of the top cake to feed each other, the usual traditional thing that they do. And then the people that were taking care of us, the servers, they said, we're going to take it to the back and cut it for you. I started to say that people stole my cake because it just seemed like there wasn't enough cake for 3 whole cakes that I made. But it's because they brought like platters like this and set it on the tables, and then whatever couldn't fit on the platters for the tables, they packed it up in a little to-go boxes. And there were like 10 to-go boxes on the table, and everybody went and snatched like 2 to put in their bags. And so Esther's dad's woman friend, she had 2 or 3 in her bag, and I said, did Esther get any? And then she goes, I don't think so. And I said, I'll give her mine because I could go back home and make the cakes over, right? Because I had 1 box. And she goes, no, I can give the dad. I was like, no. That's so funny. And she goes, we have enough, you can have mine. So Esther got a little container with 2 pieces of the cake because the top one went pretty fast, so they didn't have enough of that to put in the take-home things. They put it on a platter. So I think I was really thrilled. I was honored for Jory to ask me to do the cake because he's so fickle. And Esther didn't know that we were doing the cake. And then when she said, I knew you guys were doing the cake. Oh my God, this cake's going to be good. And I'm so proud of myself that I found the recipe to do the yellow cake for her because that's her favorite cake. So whenever she has her birthday again, she's going to get her yellow cake with the homemade frosting. No more box stuff for her, all right? She's our daughter-in-law now. And so we're trying to make sure that she feels welcomed into the family, which I think she does. I think she feels welcomed. She feels like family already, And I made a video, and this was definitely clickbait saying, I'm a grandma. And of course, we welcome Esther's daughter. Mabel is Jory's stepdaughter because Mabel has her own biological dad. So what do you think? What is your quick summary of the wedding? Did you enjoy yourself?
Anyway, I think it was pretty good. It went pretty good. And
do you miss that they didn't have like dancing and Belize music?
Not really.
No, we didn't miss any of that, right? We liked the conversations.
You can sit there, eat something nice, and that's good.
And this was the first time we met Esther's family. Jada met one of Esther's sisters before, but we have never met her dad or the other sister. I think she has another sibling somewhere. I don't know what the story is on that. Esther's mom is passed, and another brother is passed. They passed at the same time. Well, around the same time. I don't know if it's the same day, around the same time. So yeah, Esther has seen some tragedy. We have seen some tragedy, and I'm so glad to welcome her into the family. They're on their honeymoon right now in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And Jory sent some pictures that was just lovely, and I hope they're having a fantastic time. Joe took them to the airport on Sunday morning. We're taping this Monday, and hopefully this will go up today, Monday, or maybe Tuesday it'll go up. And then after this video, you're gonna see one with me showing how we did the cakes, more or less, because I did a small batch. And then after that, we're going to get back into a regular routine of cooking videos. But I couldn't talk about the wedding so much, you know, because I knew that the entire family would be gone. And I didn't want people to have some kind of idea about, oh, they're not there, let's go break into their house. You got to be careful how you move, you know. And then we had to leave the dogs unattended. I was fretting about my dogs. We left at 5:30 Friday morning, got there like 9:15. We left again 5 o'clock Saturday morning, got home at 9:15.
It's only one night. Ain't
It's one night, one day. But Wednesday, our black lab has never slept outside from the day she came home 8 years ago.
First night for anything?
I miss my babies, especially how she ate through them powder buns, through the plastic. I was worried about her and her stomach issues. So I saw them on the camera several times, and we came home. They were so happy to see us. They heard us from the time the truck hit the curb down yonder, and came running to the front, and that whole day they didn't want to go outside. Plus it was cold and rainy, so it was, I think we came back to perfect weather, because I hated the hot weather. I didn't like Vegas. Don't come for me if you live in Vegas. For the longest time, the only beautiful part of Vegas to me was the Strip. I know the Strip is ugly because it's under construction. Vegas has a smell. Somebody told me it's the drains and stuff. It has a smell. It smells like
sewer.
It smells like sewer mixed with hobo, mixed with Fritos. I had to wash everything. I took my own fitted sheet, my own pillow, my own blanket. I took my own everything. The hotel room was beautiful at the Sahara, but the bed was trash. It was worse than the mattress that we threw out. Me and Joe fell into a hole in the middle of the bed. Thank you, Jory and Esther, though. It was a beautiful room except for the bed. Anyways, guys, if you liked what we talked about here today, I just wanted you guys to see the wedding because I know a lot of you want to see it. I'm going to have the wedding in its entirety at my membership over at Patreon, $5 a month. I have a membership here too at YouTube, $5 a month. And you guys can see the whole thing if you want to see the whole thing. But here, I didn't want to put the whole thing publicly because that's Esther and Jory business. I don't have a lot of members at my Patreon. So if you want to hit me up because you want to become a sponsor to the show, this is the email, barepantryshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment. And what else, Joel? What else, Joel? Mickey is.
Don't forget to buy the book. Because that's the only way country you're going to eat. Okay?
He said it.
Okay,
Bye.
people.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Remember, guys, we are not buying this book. Pick up a copy of this book instead. Beans and Rice Volume 2 is the only Belizean cookbook backed by the Bear Pantry Show. Take a look at all these wonderful recipes you'll find inside the pages. Not interested in Belizean dishes? Then the Pantry Laid Bare with these better than restaurant quality comfort foods might be the perfect book for you. Only need a small batch or a meal for two? Then pick up a copy of No More Leftovers. Each book has many choices of delicious dishes from basic ingredients.